What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode here with the RUNATL training program. I am your host and coach, D2. So I hope you're getting those miles in and everything's going well through this training program. As always, if you have any questions and you want to reach out to me, just email me at peachy@bigpeachrunningco.com. This week we're going to get step it up a notch and do a little bit more challenging movements. We're still going to focus on the core, still going to do legs, and still going to do upper body, but we want to make sure that as you kind of progress, that we get some more challenging movements. You should already be feeling a little bit of, a burn as you're doing these, whether it's through your core, lower abs, or whether it's your arms, upper body, or even through your legs as well, because we want this to strengthen and make you stronger overall, so that as you run, you're just going to have a much better time running, reduce those chances of injuries. So first, we're going to get started once again on our core. Some of these exercises we're going to replace. Some of these we're going to add on, and some of them could be a choice. It could be just depending on what you feel is, if you're not at this level yet, then continue doing what you're doing. But I'd like you for at least to try these, simply because you really don't know what you can do until you try them. And then when you do them, and you're able to do them and execute them properly, you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment. So by never doing them or never attempting to do them, you're never really going to know what you're capable of. The other thing I wanted to mention as we kind of get started on this is that every week, as you kind of increase those miles, as you do those runs, regardless of whether you're in the beginner program or the intermediate program, or whether you can only do, hold a plank for maybe 30 seconds, but take a look at what you're doing, and each and every single week, at the little bit of gain that you're getting. If you can hold for 1 week and only hold your planks for 30 seconds, and then the next week you can kind of do 45, but you're maintaining good form, don't be discouraged because you can't do a minute yet. Those gains, those 15-second gains, celebrate them. It's an accomplishment. We need to take these little steps in order to get down the road to the finish line, and all these little steps are going to improve. So make sure you celebrate them, feel proud about the work you're doing, and just keep at it. So that being said, let's start on core and let's get to work. All right, so this video we're going to build on the last video when we were doing the leg raise. So we're going to add a little bit more movement to make it a little bit more challenging. This time, instead of just working the lower abs, we're going to also work the obliques by alternating. This is called wipers. So you're going to get down on your mat, and you're in the same position as you did with the leg raises. You're going to create a stable platform by spreading your hands out. You're going to pick the legs up, do a simple thing like a leg raise, but now you're going to alternate and swing your leg to the left, bring him back to center, and then bring him down to the right. You're going to try to do these. If you can only do 5 per side, that's fine. If you can do 10, great. If you can build up to 20, even better. But every time you do them, try to increase what you had previously done. So if you can only do 5 the first time, try to do 6, then try to do 7. Slow and controlled movements the entire time. And then you want to try to always keep that core engaged. Slow and control is going to get you the best results. And then I would try to also, if you can, do the leg raises first or afterwards for a more challenging workout. That way you're increasing your gains and strengthening that core, activating the lower abs, and then working the obliques, slow and controlled manner. All right. So now we're going to move on to planks, but we're going to make them a little bit more challenging. So this time, we're going to get in the same plank position, but we're really going to have to work on our stability of our core and truly engaging it. So we're going to get in this plank position, arms fully extended, spread the legs out a bit more to create a more stable base, and then what we're going to do is called shoulder taps, where you're going to keep that core engaged, pick one arm up, touch the opposite shoulder, do these for at least 5. You can do more, once again 10, great per side. And what you want to try to do is keep your core engaged so that when you alternate, you're not shifting the weight and then rotating in order to hit the, to tap your opposite shoulder. You want to keep that core engaged. Try to keep this back part as level as possible. So, and tap, and tap. All right? So now we're gonna go to make it even a little bit more difficult. Same type of position. Legs creating a wide base for stability. Arms at shoulder length. And if you can do the taps and you can get up to 20, then you want to move at least to this as well. And now we're going to alternate, but we're going to pick the arm up and we're going to extend it and do a reach, bring it back, extend out to the right, bring it in, bring it down. Pick the left arm up, reach, bring it in, extend out to the left, bring it in, and then down. Once again, keep that core engaged so you're not rotating, you're not letting those hip drops in any location, regardless of which direction you're going. So once again, pick up, reach, down, and out. Slow and controlled movements. So, oh, I forgot to reach there. All right, up, reach, out, and back down. Pick up, reach, back, out, and down. So by this time you should be working a pretty good sweat. It's not easy, but the work's going to pay off. That stronger core is going to allow you to maintain a more upright posture while running. You're not going to slouch as you get tired. It's going to help with your hip placement as you're running and powering through that. Especially when you're going up hills, you're not going to look down and kind of slouch. You're going to keep your head up high. So core is going to help you all with that. So now we're going to move to legs. Okay, before I move on to legs, I did review some of the video of the exercise I just showed, and my form was not great. And this is one of the things I want to focus on and make sure that you're watching yourself, record yourself. If you can do it in front of a mirror. My butt was a bit way high. I should have had more of a straighter line as I was doing those exercises, the different planks, the taps, and the reach. So keep that in mind. I want you to know, I'm not perfect. I'm working these out just the same way as you are. I'm doing my best, so I want you to do your best as well. So if I catch myself making a mistake, I'm going to point it out. I hope you're able to do the same thing as well. So let's move on to legs. We're going to start off a little bit easier than we did last week in the last video, because I know you're probably a little bit sore and maybe even tight a little bit. So we're going to kind of loosen things up a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is work out our hip flexors. So one of the things that we typically end up doing is, especially working in an office and you're seated all day, is when you're sitting down, your hip flexors and your glutes are not working because they're resting. In doing so, when we run, we then tend to run in this kind of seated position, which doesn't allow us to be really efficient, doesn't allow us to truly activate the glutes and to push forward. And it tends to cause our legs to swing forward like this, as opposed to picking the knees up and landing forward. That's going to make a big difference, especially when you're running up hills, if you can kind of power through them and if you can use your glutes. So one of the exercises we're going to do is just, what I call knee raises. So all you're going to do is raise your knee, bend at a 90-degree angle, and keep your hips also at a 90-degree angle. And you're just going to do a series of this, and you're only going to feel a little bit of a burn right here at the hip flexors. So, and I typically swing my arms as if I was running, so I tend to, is that the right way to do it? Yeah. So, just bring the knees up. So try to keep hips bent at a 90-degree angle, and then knees kind of also bent at a 90-degree angle. So you can do these as a series of, let's say you want to do 10 per side. If you want to do that, if that's all you can do, and then switch to the other side. I think I did have my arms in the wrong position. Okay, or you can do 1, 2, and then just kind of march in place. I tend to like to focus a little bit more on one leg at a time because it just seems to activate it, and you can feel a little bit of that burn, like you feel those tendons and those muscles kind of working a bit. So just pick the knee up and try to lift it, like I said, once again, to where it's almost parallel to the ground, to where your thigh is parallel to the ground. Don't do this and cheat yourself. Pick it up. This is where that power kind of comes in. When you can activate your hip flexors and then take off and run, you're going to get that wider and longer stride that's going to make it a little bit easier, and you use gravity to kind of pull you forward. So continue to do this. Like I said, I typically would do 50 per leg, sometimes maybe a little bit more. And I do a series of these in between different, series of different exercises, and I kind of rotate them in. So do that. So those, like I said, not squats, not really muscle. This is more of activating the hip flexors. So now we're going to get a little bit into more of that lunge, but we want to kind of change things because as runners, we tend to kind of always run in this direction. So all of our muscles and everything is just constantly working in this direction. So we get weaker along the sides. We never run side to side, and we never activate any muscles, so they tend to be weaker. So now we're going to switch things up a little bit, and what we're going to do is do a kind of a three-way lunge. So where you typically do a lunge, typically like this, we're going to just kind of use our arms as well, because now we're going to work and incorporate the core as well. If we can stretch up high, we're actually stretching the core muscles and then activating it in the opposite direction, creating an isometric type of movement. So you're going to do a lunge like this, and then you can go 45 degrees. Once again, working out muscles and tendons and ligaments that are in the opposite direction. And then you can go 90 degrees. Actually, I think I should have gone this way. Yep, side to side. So forward, 45 degrees, and then side lunge. Forward, 45, and then side lunge. Like that side lunge is not the easiest. Forward, again, 45 degrees, and then side lunge. All right, you're gonna try to do this once again, kind of slow and control, to work out all those muscles that typically don't get activated, and this is going to help create a stronger and more balanced, body for you, so that it reduces chance of injury. So now we're moving to upper body, and this one's going to be a little bit tougher, especially since you don't have any type of, if you don't have access to a gym and you can't do lat pull downs, this is going to be a great way of doing it. It's a great modification for those that are maybe working out in your apartment, home. All you need is a hardwood floor, or if you have carpet, you can use that as well. So let's get set up for that. All right, so now we're working on upper body, and it's going to get a little bit more challenging. So I would recommend that you add this, or at least try this in addition to what we did in the previous video, which is push-ups, biceps, and triceps. This particular exercise is going to work a lot of those in addition to the ones that we did last week. It's got a combination including core, chest, lats, delts, and triceps. So what you're going to need is if you've got a concrete floor that's finished, it's smooth, vinyl flooring, hardwood flooring, and a towel, that's really all you need. If you don't have access to that and all you have is carpet, you can use a piece of cardboard. Paper plates are a good option, and Tupperware lids can also work, because what you're going to do is you're going to use, in this case, a towel, and we're going to slide back and forth, and we're going to create a little bit of a smoothness to where we can slide back and forth using our upper body and engaging our core. So we're going to start out with our knees on this towel. We're going to get in a kind of a push-up position, a modified push-up position. Arms about shoulder width apart. And then we're going to engage the core, make sure that it's nice and tight and activated and straight. I hope it's straight. And then you're going to extend out. And what you're doing is kind of simulating kind of a lat pull down if you had a cable machine at a gym. And then you're going to bring them up. And then use your hands to kind of grip and make sure it's not slippery, otherwise your hands will slip. But use your hands to kind of push yourself back. And that's the easy part while your core's engaged. And then bring yourself up. So this works out, like I said, your triceps, your core, your lats. So if you can do one of these in great form, awesome. Like I said, this is a more challenging exercise. Slow and control as always. And then back up. I have to admit, this is one of the most difficult ones that I've been doing. It's hard not to arch the back and maintain that core. So as soon as, in my case there, I kind of arch my back a little bit, don't continue doing it. As soon as you start feeling like your form is breaking down, stop, reset, rest, and then attempt it again. If I continue to do that and arch my back like this, what I'm doing is I'm putting strain on that lower back. That's going to cause problems. So we want to focus on proper form. So if you got to stop and reset, do so. And that's for any of these exercises. So, as you kind of continue, try to do at least one of these cross-training workouts a week. 2 would be better. This is going to end up helping you get better form so that when you get tired, you're able to kind of reset, run more upright, as opposed to kind of slouching over and looking down, especially as we kind of run up hills. That tends to be the case. So as those later miles, you're running more upright, looking down the road, opening the airways because your head is up, breathing in, and then exhaling. That's all going to help you because of this proper form and your stronger upper body, along with a good solid core. So keep at it, keep logging those miles. Once again, email me at peachy@bigpeachrunningco.com. Celebrate every little gain that you get. Pat yourself on the back if you can do one more repetition. If you can hold something for an additional 5 seconds, celebrate those, because those will add up when this program is all over, and you're going to be amazed at the gains that you've made and the improvements you've made from day 1 all the way to the race day, and you cross that finish line. You're going to feel stronger, you're going to feel better. Exercise, it just, and running, it just releases endorphins. You feel more confident, you have a little bit more energy. Those are all things to be celebrated, so do so. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day. Don't beat yourself up if all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't hold it for as long as I wanted to, or I did a couple more or less sets or reps than I did previously. That's okay. Just keep at it. Consistency is a key, and even if you back off a little bit, just get right back into it and just keep motivating yourself. Let's motivate each other. I'm motivated and inspired by all of you that signed up for this program and who continue to show up for the virtual clinics. I will continue to be there for you, and you keep just coming and I'll be there. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it, and all the support. So keep at it, and I'll see you at the next video, and we'll get a little bit harder as far and stronger as we work these do these videos and increase our challenges. But we're gonna feel so much better for it. So thanks again.